Welcome to the Hyperbeat Podcast. Each episode, we chat with fitness professionals to get the story behind the business they created.
All right, welcome to the very first Hyperbeat Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Tate, and today I am joined by Matthew Tate.
Thanks for having me, Nicholas.
No worries, Matthew. Thanks for being part of the show today. Now let's get this out of the way at the top of the show. Are you two brothers?
No.
Yes. Okay, very good.
That's for all the Neither Roxbury fans out there.
All right, so Matthew, tell us, we've decided to start a podcast. What are the reasons behind it, and what are you hoping that we achieve through it?
Yeah, thanks. So Hyperbeat's been going for quite a while now, and we thought, seeing that we've got such a large customer base, how can we add more value to them? And basically, we thought we'll have a chat with them and see how their small business is going, how they started.
The plan is to interview clients and have a chat about their business?
Yeah, basically, have a chat about their business, talk about their origin story.
Yep.
How they started in fitness. Doesn't have to be fitness. It could be their small business in general.
Mm-hmm. So we interact with a lot of companies within the fitness realm.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously personal trainers, gyms. We do dance studios. We've done some roller derby clubs, football clubs. So there's netball. So there's a wide variety of different organisations that we can tap into and have a chat to.
Yeah. So finding out about their branding strategies, their marketing strategies. Their future plans, and hopefully for all the listeners that are out there, just to get some tips and tricks on to help their business and assist them in growing their small business as well.
Yep, and add some overall value to the community.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, well, that's great. So today, why don't we kick off episode 1 and do the Hyperbeat backstory / origin story and get it from your point of view, Matthew.
My own personal superhero origin story.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Excellent. Well, look, Hyperbeat probably started back in 2013. It actually started with myself and a friend of mine who's no longer in the business, but what we thought of was starting a lifestyle brand, a Hyperbeat sports clothing. And
so just to jump in there, so rather than being the custom branded apparel that we are today, you were envisaging a lifestyle brand on its own.
Hyperbeat the brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we were going to take on the majors, come in at a lower price point, selling high quality compression leggings, and essentially world domination from there onwards.
And how did that world domination go, Matthew?
Oh, well, 6 months in, we sold 2 pairs.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. I was very excited on my first.
And what about 12 months in? Had you doubled sales figures to 4 pairs by that point?
7 pairs for the whole 12 months.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So you were still working full time while this was being built?
Yeah, so this was a side hustle. We were trying to build it up as a side income for both of us at the time. And we were thinking at the time we were going to be able to bring in an extra couple of grand a month in income. Little did we know how hard business was. And so it was a side project to one day we had a 5-year plan to make it a full-time job.
So during those initial first 12 months, you obviously weren't selling very many Hyperbeat branded pairs. What were people saying to you during that year?
Well, during that year, we were actually receiving more requests from CrossFit gyms at the time, wanting to know if they can put their logo on the pair of leggings as well. And luckily enough, in trying to solve a problem that Hyperbeat had, being a small business, we actually solved a problem for a lot of small businesses.
Which was?
The no minimum order problem.
Okay.
So what you might not know is when you're starting a clothing brand or any sort of clothing apparel, you are locked into minimum orders with the manufacturers. So your first issue is trying to find a factory that will manufacture your clothing.
And take you seriously.
Especially at the start, because you don't know the lingo. And then if you wanted, say, a color range, so we might wanted the Hyperbeat logo in blue, red, and white, you actually needed to buy 300 units of blue, 300 units of white, etc.
So that would be a massive drain on any kind of cash flow or savings that you might have.
Especially when you're starting out, to receive a quote for anywhere up to 30,000.
Did you
Australian
faint
dollars.
when you got that quote?
I did. So trying to overcome this problem, I did some research and found out that it's extremely hard to try and start a clothing brand on a budget. So after long hours and a lot of nights, was able to custom make the logos myself and put them on the leggings. So essentially we could have infinite possibilities in designs and still only have to buy the initial order of just one lot of 300 units.
So that satisfied the feedback you were getting from people that came to the website and asking, can you put my logo on these pants?
So when they asked that, we're like, okay, well, we can do that. But I didn't have a graphic designer at the time to be able to.
Oh, did you know one?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good.
Yourself, Nicholas. I tempted you with a 10% stake in Hyperbeat of all future profits.
Little did I know 10% of nothing is still nothing.
Yes, exactly. So basically, after getting you on board, we went down the path of custom manufacturing for the clients.
I think at that point we actually started a new entity.
Yeah. So the business really pivoted from there. Now, at this point, my other business partner, with the massive sales of 7 units of the year, kind of fell out thinking that this wasn't really going to go anywhere. But once Nicholas was on board, we pivoted the whole company and changed into a custom manufacturing company and custom apparel. And from there, our first order was actually 7 units.
Oh, wow.
It's very excited. So I did my whole year's worth of
in one order.
In one order. So yeah.
Okay, so since that initial order of 7 units, how has it grown from there?
Yeah, well, essentially month on month, it kind of then just skyrocketed. So after initial sale of 7, then we got another order in, and I think that one was for 10, and then 20, and then 10, and then they started to go to CrossFit comps and other CrossFit companies started to see what we were doing. We started to get photos from them. We started posting it on our social media, which brought more business. Other people going, do you actually do this? And before you know it, we'll cut forward another year. We had 300 gyms at that time.
So that's roughly 2 years into Hyperbeat?
Yeah. So the first year was the initial starting as Hyperbeat itself, and this was the first year of Hyperbeat, the custom apparel manufacturer.
At what point did you realise that maybe you could take this as a full-time job and leave your cushy job in high finance?
Yeah, it was year 3, and it was 3 months into the year we had done.
Do you remember it well?
Yep. I remember.
Did you go, what am I doing?
Well, I think what was happening, I was actually at breaking point because we couldn't fulfill.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
We couldn't fulfill all the orders
and still have hours
to go to work and sleep. And we were going to work, coming home, we were pressing the pants.
Yeah, till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then all the way on weekends, we would start at 8:30, finish at 10. And on Sunday, where we had family dinner, what we'd do was we'd bring all the orders in a big plastic bag. We'd throw them on the kitchen table, and we'd have the whole family
free labor,
folding and packing the orders and putting them in the post. And then on my way to work on Monday, when I was walking to the trams, I would take these massive duffel bags of orders and just load up the Australia Post box. And I think I got to the point where I couldn't fit any more in the Australia Post box. And then I realised, why am I going to work?
Very good. So we then moved out of Mum and Dad's garage, which we were at for the first 18 months.
Well, at that point, after that, I quit, and we were still in the back of the garage.
That's right. Yep.
I had to stay there for another 6 months.
Yep.
Because you were still at work.
That's right. Yep.
And I was doing it by myself with Nicholas coming in after work, and then because I'd moved out of the business and out of working into the business full time.
Yeah, it grew the cash flow.
Yeah, it grew the cash flow, and I was able to answer more queries and take on more business. So it only took another 6 months to really realize that we needed 2 full-time people in here.
Yep.
And so I approached you on a Sunday night family dinner and said, what do you think about quitting your job as well?
Yep, and I immediately said yes and jumped across. So then we moved from the back garage, like I was saying, to our offices now in Ascot Vale, which has been really beneficial for the business.
Yeah. So
giving us space to employ some people.
Yeah, exactly. So as you probably know, as a small business owner out there, you spend most of your time working in the business. And we sat down and we thought, okay, well, we can't just be making pants all day. We need to start growing the business even more. So we got our first employee, and cut forward another year. We now got 4 employees, plus ourselves. So there's 6 people working in the business.
Yep.
And aiming to probably get 2 more, really.
Yeah, if things continue.
Yeah, it seems like as you grow and you trying to take yourself out of the business to grow it, you end up pushing yourself back into the business because you've grown too quickly. So yeah, it's been good. It's been exciting.
So what do you think has been powering traction with customers? Is it social media that's helped us along?
Yeah, so look, I think the initial amount of customers we got was due to our offering, the offering being the no minimum order offering.
Yep, so that got a little bit of cut through.
Yeah, it got cut through, which was a differentiating point that other businesses didn't offer, because as we know now, the minimums are 25 to 50.
Yeah, or more.
And once you kind of exhausted that from word of mouth, then just having an offering out there, we moved into social media, which has been a massive push for us to get new business and drive new business.
So we're running quite a few ads.
Yeah. So we run on different platforms. So we have ads in traditional media, we have in magazines.
Yeah, we don't do that as much anymore. We used to probably 18 months ago. We ran an ad in a couple of fitness magazines.
Yeah, but majority of our budget for advertising is now spent on Facebook
ads,
Instagram ads as well, Australia-wide.
So how many ads have you got running at any one time?
Maximum 3.
3 ads?
Yeah.
Yep. And they're getting quite good traction?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have some perform better than others, but you need to A/B test this frequently. So what I mean by that is you need to be trying different demographics, different target audiences.
Different artwork.
Yeah, different artwork, because some artwork you might think is great, but when it comes down to it, it doesn't get any cut through on social media. It could just be that it looks like every other picture out there. And that's where I get you involved, Nicholas, to keep coming up with these ideas.
New creative, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and we're posting 2 times a day? At least once a day.
Yeah.
We're trying to do 2 a day, but it's hard to gather content all the time.
Yeah, Instagram's really it's really changed this year.
It's a monster.
And it's quite time consuming. So any business owner out there, it's a must. You have to have it. You have to be posting on Instagram and you have to be posting on Facebook. You don't need, I would say, you don't need different content for Instagram and Facebook.
There's an argument for, yes, you do.
Yeah, but for people who are time poor, I think if you're time poor,
something's better than nothing.
Yeah, just put something up.
Yep.
But the great thing about our product is that we encourage our clients to take photos of them wearing the product, which in turn creates social content for us.
Yeah.
So that way we don't have to constantly keep thinking of new things.
So user generated content.
Yeah, which could be said some of the best sort of content you can get.
Yeah, definitely. It's the modern day testimonial, I guess. People actually wearing and interacting with the brand.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so 2018 now, but back in 2013, we were selling one compression legging style. I believe it was ladies full length.
Yeah. So we started
with the original waistband.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So now in 2018, we've obviously got quite a few more products. So how did we go from just that one
product through to, I think we're at 13 different products now.
Okay.
Yeah. So we initially started with the one style of ladies full length leggings. Sold fairly well. So we thought, okay, why don't we get a men's style in? And then that was selling quite well as well. And what happens is you kind of saturate the market or your client base in selling one product, and you got to wait for that sort of for them to get new clients for you being able to get more sales.
More sales, yeah.
So what we decided was, we'll try to increase the product range, but we want to maintain quality as well, because I think what's a differentiating point of what we're trying to achieve was providing high quality items but at an affordable price, which sometimes is quite contradictory when you go down to sort of the quality fabrics that you need to kind of make these performance gear. So we moved into a 3/4 length. Our first 3/4 batch was quite funny, I would say. We called them Harry High Pants. They got the measurements quite a bit wrong, and they would just sit underneath your rib cage.
The back for the front and the front for the back.
Yeah. But after a bit of testing and a bit more sort of product development, we were able to get them to a normal 3/4 length. Yep. And sit quite well. Yep. And that really shot off, because then we stopped becoming a winter brand only, because obviously
we could sell in a few more months of the year.
Yeah, a few more months we started to become a summer brand, which was great, and which led on to more revenue for the business.
Yeah. So were you getting clients requesting specific items?
Yeah. So what we try to do is, we don't want to just put an item out there and say, go buy it. We want the clients to tell us what they want. And from there, we'll look into which is the most demanded
product.
Demanded product, and start bettering it. So if other people are offering it, what's better about ours?
Yep.
So from there we moved into t-shirts.
Mm-hmm. Seems like the obvious choice. T-shirts to start.
And then hoodies.
I think hoodies. We had a lot of demand for, I think over a 2-year period, people kept emailing us saying, do you do hoodies? Do you do hoodies? And eventually we developed a hoodie, which we only launched at the start of this year, 2018.
Exactly.
And that went very, very well.
At the same time, we were also getting a lot of demand for a different style of leggings. So the high rise started to kind of have a cut through in the sort of market.
Yeah, it was becoming very popular.
Yeah, everyone in the gyms and in photos and everything was starting to wear the high rise. So we were getting a lot of demand for the high rise. So we changed the waistband to a high rise waistband, and we saw a massive uplift. All our previous existing clients came back and started ordering, and we're bringing on about 10 new companies a day, just because we had the high-rise leggings. Yeah.
And there was also a lot of people requesting rash guards too, which is a little bit different in the way that we approach that garment.
It's a lot harder to manufacture.
Yep.
But
so that's sublimated printing.
Yeah, that's it. That's sublimated. That's what I'd call a side part of our business. It's different sort of clientele that we're going in there. That's more of your Brazilian jiu-jitsu sort of MMA.
Yep.
Different kettle of fish. Yep. But yeah, we do those now, which is good. It's starting to get quite a bit of traction, which is great.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we're trying to look into always getting new products in, and we just listen to the feedback.
Yep. So what have you got planned for 2019?
Oh, let me
what have the people been asking?
Yeah, well, let me take a look to the whiteboard over there. The 2019 range. Okay, well, shorts has been a big one. Not just any shorts. The would you say the Kim Kardashian biker shorts?
Yes, she has made them quite popular.
Yep. So we've been getting quite a bit of requests for shorter 3/4 length pants that aren't as short as booty shorts.
Yeah, like bike shorts.
Biker shorts, I think is what they're called.
Okay.
So they're coming soon. Yeah. Kids, that's a big one. Yeah, I'm just dropping that one. We will probably receive on a daily basis one request for kids leggings each day. So yeah, kids is being developed, which is great.
It's in production, isn't it?
No, we're still in, it's not in production.
In the sampling stage?
Yeah, we're in the sampling stage. So the way that works is
one step back from production.
Yeah, one step back from production. We currently have a couple of dance schools trialing them and give their feedback to any improvements that they might need. Yep. And then production begins after that.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's talk about Hyperbeat's marketing strategy, Matthew. Is there any tips and tricks that you may want to share with the customers out there, the clients?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a social media sort of day and age at the moment. The value for your dollar spent is really shifting from your traditional sorts of media, which would be your advertised print, your trade shows, etc.
Yeah, actually, trade shows, that's a good one if you just want to drill down on that for a second. We've done 2 of them in the past. The first one was very, very successful. The second one, I think, mixed results is the best way to put it.
Not so successful, to say the least. So, yeah, look, the demographic in the fitness industry is starting to become very tech savvy, and the audience's attention is more on social media than a physical presence as such. So what we noticed is when we did our first trade show a few years back, we had a massive uptake of new clients. We're still seeing
it's quite overwhelming.
Yeah, overwhelming. Yeah, we're still seeing the benefits of that today. And then we thought, okay, well, we'll do some more trade shows. So in the next year, we did a trade show. We noticed there was a dramatic drop in the attendance level at the actual trade show itself, which was quite disappointing. So we started to think, is trade shows, not really that relevant anymore?
Yeah, well, let's talk figures. I mean, a trade show, how much does it cost to rent space? It's about $5,000.
Yeah, if you're going to a reputable trade show, a named
you're
trade
up for
show,
about $5,000.
Yeah, that's just for the stand.
Yeah, then you've got your fit out and then any staff that you might need to employ. So you could be in the realm of $5,000 to $8,000 quite easily.
You would need to easily budget a $10,000 for a trade show.
Yep. So then you start thinking, what else can I get for $10,000?
Yeah. It's all about your return on your investment. Yeah. So the numbers for the attendance numbers is critical for these trade shows. So that you need an organisation that's going to be bringing in overwhelming amounts of people, because not everyone at that trade show is your demographic or is your customer. Yep. So it's volume in numbers.
It's a percentage of.
Yep. So the next year, I went to the trade show. Numbers, I would say, halved.
Yep. So this is the second time.
The second time. So the attendance numbers was half, and the show itself was half the size.
Yep.
And then we decided in year 3 not to do the trade show and just go to the trade show to see if
as a guest.
A guest, and see if our predictions were right.
Yep.
Are people still going to trade shows? And unfortunately, the trade show had halved again in terms of numbers and
space.
And space, yeah. Yep. The size of the show was half, and the sort of brand names coming to these shows, which are your drawed cards, they had also started pulling out. So I think what we noticed was, if the major players are not seeing any benefit in trade shows, maybe we start taking
maybe there's a reason for it.
For it. So that leads into, where do you put your money?
Yep. Or where are we putting our money?
Or where are we putting our money, exactly. Yeah. So social media is definitely the go-to.
Yeah, and Facebook is the monster of all of them at the moment.
Yeah.
The big daddy.
Facebook have so much data on their clients that it's scary. And if you're an advertiser,
it's fantastic.
So what I would suggest as a tip and trick is play around. You're probably going to waste a bit of money at the start just trying figuring it out.
So play around with paid ads.
Yep. You need to be testing your ads, and you yourself need to be training up yourself, your sort of skill or your knowledge on
base,
it. Yeah. And there is so much information out there. I would not recommend going and paying anyone to teach you or going to an advertising firm for them to do it. Just type into Google, how do I run a Facebook ad? And then after you learn that, next one, what's the best way to target your audience?
Okay.
Yeah, because the audience targeting tool is the key driver to Facebook's advertising success. You can choose, if you're just a local gym, you don't need to advertise Australia-wide. You can choose 10 to 15K, 20K radius from your house or where your business is to target people who have Facebook. And let's say, let's break this down. Let's say you're a women's only gym, and you only want clients in a 20K radius of where you are. You can break it down to females who are in a particular age group that live within 20Ks of this address, who are interested in fitness, diet,
wellness,
health and wellness, nutrition, And you can then break that down even further. Corporate women who live in this area, who finish work at 5, for instance, and then you can schedule your ads to either run at times when they're finishing work or when they're on lunch, so that you get the best bang for your buck. And there's different objectives that you can choose. The possibilities are infinite. It's a bit overwhelming at the start. That's why I say play around with it. But the cost of it is also very you would say cheap, very cheap, which is great.
So what would someone be looking at spending if they just wanted to test their first ad, run a a once-off ad to trial it?
There's no minimum amount you have to spend. So if you want to spend $2, you could spend $2. But to get any cut through, which is they charge you per 1,000 lots of people they give out your ad to.
Yep.
You'd need to be spending, as a minimum, I would suggest $20 a day just to get a bit of traction. It's not a lot. So if you budget $100 for the Monday to Friday, for the week, you'd be able to see, are people clicking it? Are they going to my website, or are they going to my Facebook page? Are they liking it? Am I getting any inquiries? And if there is, then you slowly start to creep up your budget to an amount that starts to bring in quite a lot of traffic from there.
Okay. So you mentioned website. We obviously spend a lot of time working on our website. Where do you see that, the way that fits in between Facebook, your website, maybe any trade show or print material?
Look, I would say a website is just as important as anything else. There is a lot of tools out there now that allows you to build fantastic looking websites on a budget. The days of spending $5,000, on a web developer, I think are gone. There's platforms like BigCommerce, Shopify, even lesser ones like Wix, for instance, that make it quite simple for you to create a great looking website. All I would say is the website is where your customer goes. Now think about yourself. If you're going to a website, check out a brand, you might see them on Facebook, and then you'll click and go to their website. If their website looks like rubbish, you're probably going to say, I'm not comfortable spending my dollar here. And you'll probably just click out. So spending time and getting good graphics and getting a website that flows, not too wordy as well, well written.
Nice photos,
yeah. It's invaluable. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a little look behind the curtain to see how Hyperbeat runs the business. Matthew, obviously moving forward, we're going to be chatting to a whole bunch of different guests.
Yeah, really exciting.
On the show. Most of them obviously clients of ours, so that's a great opportunity for them to jump on the show, have a chat to us, tell the audience about themselves and their business, and essentially promote their brand or their organisation.
And I'd like to state that if you're interested in being on the show, feel free to contact us. You don't have to be a super large business or have hundreds and hundreds of clients.
No, that's right. We're happy to talk to anybody who wants to talk to us, I guess.
Yeah, really.
And Matthew, we look forward to having you on the show as well as a co-host in future episodes every now and then, just to add a bit of expertise value in the background.
Yeah. I'll co-host a couple episodes.
Very exciting.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking actually being on this.
You'll be right. All right, guys. Thanks very much for taking the time to listen to us ramble on. We hope to provide some value to our community out there as we move forward. Thanks for listening to the show.
If you'd like to be involved in an episode of the Hyperbeat Podcast, send an email to info@hyperbeat.com.au or contact us through our social media channels.